Colson from Dallas, Texas hit me up. He said, give a breakdown on the show if you were the commissioner of college football and have a proposal for improving the officiating mechanism across the sport. We've heard your general issues with it, but give your formal pitch on how you would make it better. All right, here's what I would do. Do we all agree with Colson? I think we do, that officiating in college football leaves a lot to be desired right now. That doesn't mean every call is bad, not every game's bad, not every crew is bad. But in general, it's my opinion that there is really, really like an inexplicable amount of game-deciding bad officiating in college football right now. Most of you agree with that. Most of the officials would even agree with that, truth be told. So here's what I would do. I would get elected college football commissioner, and then I would try and do three things. The first one is I would nationalize officiating. It is the dumbest thing in the world to me that we have conference officials, especially when we play out-of-conference games in college football, and we also assign these officials to bowl games and playoff games. And so why would I have Big 12 officiating crews officiating South Carolina versus Illinois in a bowl game? It makes no sense. If we're going to have it officiated, why not have a top-to-bottom universal standard, which I'll get into in a second, and therefore I don't have to worry about any kind of rumor here or there, or any kind of stigma here or there. Well, that's an SEC crew. That's a Big 12 crew. It should be a college football crew. So that's the first thing I would do. And there's a lot that comes with that. I'll get to it in a second. Second thing, we're going to be fully transparent with our officiating process. I'll tell you why. Because we're not guarding state secrets here. We haven't discovered a cure for an infectious disease that we're trying to keep out of the hands of a foreign government. It's not that secretive. We're fighting over a football and trying to score more points than the other team, and people who are dressed like zebras are trying to make sure some rules of the game are enforced. It's utterly insane that we guard decisions and officiating in general behind this like impenetrable curtain. Players have to answer to the media when they screw up. Coaches have to answer to the media when they screw up. But the officials screw up and they jet out of town. Why? Well, the excuse that you're given is, well, they're just part-time. They're not even real full-time employees. Make them full-time employees then. I'll pay each of them. Well, I'll find some money. We'll round up some money. I'll pay each of them 6 figures per year. And therefore, it's fully rational and fair to hold them to the same standard that everybody else is held to when you're paid to do a job and you don't do it. Like, if you don't like it, quit. Coaches have this happen to them. Players have this happen to them. You do a good job, you get praised. You do a bad job, you get lit up. But officials, it almost turns up the heat more when something bad happens, there's an egregious call or a no call, you don't even get an answer. The closest you get to it is you're a fan and you're on your message board on Monday and you're like an Auburn fan, and Justin Hokanson has a news story where he reports that he hears Auburn coaches got feedback from the SEC that they messed up a call, according to sources. Like, what are we doing? So that's all scrapped, and we are going to have the white hat on the crew chief, made available to media after every college football game, and he's going to have to answer for the calls they made. He's not a part-time employee. He's a full-time employee. He's got salary. He's got benefits. He's living a good life on Sunday through Friday. He's going to feel the heat on Saturday. And you may think, oh, that makes an official's life miserable. You know what it would actually do? It would make the bad ones' lives miserable. The good ones would be fine. Here's what else would happen. Hey, really quick timeout. We'll get right back to the video. Do me one favor. Make sure you're subscribed. It helps us keep the show free. It helps us keep the lights on. It helps us keep doing college football year-round, and we appreciate it. All right, back to the video. I know this may come as a shock, but sometimes people complain about calls that were right. But it's never properly articulated to you that the call was right, because the entire functionality of the call was never explained to you. The officials made the call. It may or may not have been articulated to the broadcast crew why the call was made. Therefore, the broadcast crew doesn't tell you on air why the call was made or what the call was. And then they're gone. They're in a van, police escort to the airport or the state line as soon as the game's over, and you don't hear anything. You know what it would mean for a white hat to stand in front of the media and get grilled about a missed call, and then him be able to say, well, actually, here's what happened. Here was the procedure. Here's what we saw. Here's what the rule says. Here's how we interpreted that, and here's how we applied it. it would actually tamp down a lot of the noise. Because a lot of these calls are actually right, or at the very least, they're within the framework of judgment, at the very least, or at the very worst. Are there blown calls? Yeah. They're going to chase you anyway. You might as well not run. They chase far less if you don't run. What's the worst that could happen? You stand there and say, we may have messed that one up. We know you did anyway. It helps to hear it. Then it helps to hear maybe how you're going to make sure it doesn't happen moving forward. And then the third thing, which when I talk to officials is the most important thing, is I would standardize the rules. Like I said, I would have national officials instead of conference officials. And the reason that's so important is not just to remove the stigma of favoritism, one conference to the other, it's to standardize the enforcement procedure. Right now, the biggest hidden mess in college football officiating is Conference USA officials are told to emphasize things that Big Ten officials are not. And Big Ten officials hold the flag on things that SEC officials throw the flag for. It's so stupid. It's the stupidest problem to have. It's so easily preventable, but you have these silos that exist because it's kind of political and there's a lot of power in the vacuum. And so you've got these conference heads of officials that in some cases hate each other. So they have their own little fiefdoms, and the only authority they have in life is that they oversee officiating at the league level in the Sun Belt or the ACC or whatnot. I'm not even speaking about anyone in particular. I'm just randomly pulling conference names out of thin air. It's so stupid that exists. If you rebuilt college football today, you would never build it like that. So why does it exist like that right now if you would never build it like that? And then I would calibrate the hiring process where it's pure meritocracy, and I couldn't care less if I have 15 people all from Macon, Georgia. If they're the best officials in the country, they're going to officiate, and they're going to lead crews all across the country. You could be a guy, you could be a girl. If you're getting my calls right, you're going to be on the crews, and the ones who screw up, I don't care what their last names are, I don't care what boxes they check, they're sitting at home because it's too important. And there's too much of your money on the line. The Ramen Noodle Express's money is on the line. A coach's salary is on the line. A player's NIL dollars are on the line. The integrity of the game is on the line. Sorry. If you want to go work as an intern for the summer at your dad's construction company, some nepotism is okay there. We can't have it when it comes to officiating. And if that's a controversial stance, it's just a controversial show.